everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, fine. We'll start. I'll take it from digital and all. Let's see, based on your domain, I'll ask some questions later stages. Okay. Fine. We'll start with Aish. Tell me about yourself.
Yes, sir. Myself, Ayush Dikshit. I've done my schooling from Kendra Vidyalaya, and after that, I've pursued my BTech from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. And after that, currently, I am in IIT Jodhpur pursuing JRF methodology project sponsored by DRDO. So I'm currently in Jodhpur.
Okay. So, what's your? Are you in final year or have you are you about to enter final year?
So I graduated in 2022, and then after got selected in this GRF.
Okay. Okay.
So currently I'm in IIT Jodhpur.
So tell me about your project, BE project.
So my BE project was development of snake serpentine motion using Arduino microcontroller 256 rev. And apart from that, it was solely based on Arduino programming with the help of servo motors. And apart from that, in the VLSI field, I've done projects like many projects like interfacing of UART and SPI I2C. And I've worked on FPGAs like Basis 3 and Ping board.
Nice. How come interfacing UART all come under VLSI domain?
No. I am saying that I've done like projects these UART and these all HDL coding on FPGA like implemented. So
name any project that you have done using in VLSI domain.
So UART coding using Verilog.
You are saying that UART coding, correct? What did you do with the UART? Did you interface it to any other part, or did you make sure that the UART had any specification thing to do?
Yeah, I have interfaced with a Zinc SoC and programmed it using a Vitis software and checked the output like at the hyperterminal, what to say.
And so, what was the main aim of your BTech project? What did it serve to be, or what was its aim to be?
So my BTech project was totally on embedded side. It was on microcontrollers, basically Arduino.
I know that. Like, what's its purpose? Like, what was it? It was, if you have to explain the same project to a general person who is not knowledgeable of electronics, how do you explain it to a general person who wants to know it?
So the general idea was that we are doing was we are replicating the serpentine motion what the snake does. So we were like replicating that same movement on the with the help of some servo motors and Arduino programming. So that was the basic idea.
Yeah. What was the purpose of doing that? Why you wanted to replicate it?
Yeah, so the main idea was that snakes were able to go to some places which are not easily feasible by a person, like the pipes and all, because what we are doing was we were implementing some camera on the like in the face of the front side of the robot. So with that we can access the areas which are not easily which cannot be easily feasible to go there, like some radioactive areas and all that.
Got it. Okay, so you used Arduino 5?
Yeah, Arduino 256 rev.
256. Okay.
Mega, Arduino Mega.
Bit megaprocessor was it? How much
yes,
bit?
Sir, at Mega 2560.
Yeah. What was the bit of it? How much bit?
Yes,
how much bit microcontroller was it?
So basically, I've done the coding part in Arduino. I haven't.
You know the processor part. Like
So
the
I
hardware part?
so I only know like I was doing coding side, so
Hmm.
was familiar with that terms.
You have no idea
But
about the hardware?
so hardware, I know like there it was a chip of Atmega, and I've done some parts of interfacing with the servo motors with the wires.
Yeah. See, if you are doing a coding or if you are doing anything, you have to know the architecture of it, right? 32-bit architecture or 64-bit architecture. How much was it? You have to know. You are
Uh,
using. Oh, let me know. Arduino is a microcontroller or microprocessor for you.
so it was a microcontroller.
Yeah. If you have a microcontroller, you are using the data bus and everything, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you are coding for that microcontroller, you need to know the architecture, right?
Yeah, right, sir.
How many bits was your microcontroller designed? Like how many bits was the Arduino Atmega?
Sir, I can say that it was 32 bits.
Sure about that?
So, sir, I'm not sure. Like, it is not sure.
Yeah. Fine. Venkatesh?
Yes, sir.
Venkatesh. Yeah. Tell me about yourself.
Myself, K. Venkatesh from TKR College of Engineering, sir. I completed my graduate 2022 from EC background. I did project detection of non-element rider and extraction of license plate. It is totally IT field.
So what was like it was main purpose of that project? Was it to detect the number plates
Yes,
automatically?
sir.
What was its main purpose was it to detect the number plates
Detect
automatically?
detect number plate and automatically challan.
So
For that
what is
purpose,
used to do? Like if you have, is it for any particular use? Like if you are installing it anywhere like that or what?
mm, sir, we did that project from seniors.
No, so you haven't worked on it anywhere.
Yes, sir.
You haven't worked
He
on it.
suggested that so that we will my batch will do that thing.
No, Venkatesh, if seniors have suggested, fine, that's okay. But it's upon you all, right? You have to take up the interest and do your project. It's not that just senior said that he gave the materials, you are doing the project, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to learn something when you're doing a project,
Yes, sir.
right?
I think
That's when your
the
engineering skills matters, right? That's where you put all your learnings there and you build a new project or you make on a project to learn something.
yes, sir. But I know concept.
Okay, tell me what's the concept? What are the techniques you used and what are the
Mm,
areas you explored there?
There are three modules like YOLO V2, YOLO V3, OCR, sir.
Hmm.
In the YOLO V2, we will extract whether the person with the bike or not.
Hmm.
Uh, in the YOLO V2, we will check whether the person wearing helmet or not.
Hmm.
After that, in the OCR, if uh, if person is not wearing helmet, uh, number plate will be
Okay, on
detected.
what basis the number will be scanned? What process are you using to scan your number plate?
We will take a recorded video, sir. We will capture.
Okay, you will record a video and you will manually check the number plates of it.
Yes, sir.
You sure about that? If you are doing it, then what's the use of doing that? There are already some certain cameras that
Yes,
have.
sir. It is already is there, but first of all, uh, my batch will try to detect automatic challan, sir, but it
Okay,
is not
how the
possible.
automatic would be detected?
Uh, that is not done, sir. But
You
don't
just
know.
said that it will be detected automatically. Firstly,
No. I mean, we will take picture.
okay, if you are taking picture,
We
how
will
will it?
upload that image. We will upload that image into some program is there, sir. I don't know that exact program. Using that program, it will automatically challan will be.
So what domain your project works? What's your project's domain mainly?
I mean, like what?
What's your area of your project? See, I said that this project is embedded. What's your project area?
I say it is mostly IT field like that.
Yeah, see, semiconductor comes also in IT field. Programming comes also in IT field. Even embedded comes also in IT field. I'm asking you to be specific with what your project was. What was your batch pass out? Like, when did you pass?
22 years.
22 pass.
Yes, sir.
You took admission in 2019, I guess.
18.
18.
18.
So 2020 and 2021 you have spent in COVID only.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Fine. Okay. Have you used anything of image processing in your project?
By program, it will.
Do you have any idea about image processing?
Don't know, sir.
Then you mentioned something about OCR, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by OCR? Full form of OCR?
Optical character recognition.
So what does that do? What do you mean by optical character recognition?
It will extract the license plate.
How?
It will by uploading images.
See, optical character recognition. It samples the image whatever you have captured, and it will try to recognize the character. And this process comes in image processing, okay, digital image processing. Should have that idea. Fine. Praveen.
Yes,
tell me about yourself, Praveen.
My name is Praveen Bes. I'm from Davangere, Karnataka, and I graduated.
Yeah, continue. I'm from the same city.
Okay. And I completed my engineering in GM Institute of Technology, Davangere.
Okay.
And my college done in also Davangere, Science Academy PU College, and my schooling is in Lalita International Public School.
Okay.
My final year project is mainly based on the drug industry, means medical industry. It's totally based on IT, but the application of that is going to be used in medical industry. The drug title of the project is drug used in the medical industry for diabetes. It's only for mainly purpose on diabetes patients. Okay. We are using CNN algorithm to extract the features of the leaf. First of all, we will take the images of the plants, and we randomly we will take the image of the plant. Then we will put in the HTML page for the input, user input, and it will work in the back end, and it will give the result as it can cure the. It can help to cure the diabetes, or it cannot help to cure the diabetes. There are two possibilities. It can cure, it cannot be cured. This is how we implemented means. First, we use the CNN algorithm for the feature extraction of the leaf.
Okay.
We will train the leaves that are help for the curing of diabetes and not helping for the curing of diabetes. We divided it into two parts. We will train the both to the CNN model predefined. Then it will give the probability. CNN algorithm always give the probability as if I take a probability from 0 to 0.5, it will it can cure. If I take 0.5 to 1, it will not taken as not cure.
Okay.
When we upload the random image, it can extract the feature. Then it can say it can cure or not. It will just easy the one-step process by going and finding the plants. If I publish that in the website, it can little bit helpful for the people. So this plant can be used for the diabetes or not.
Okay, fine. So what was your year of passing?
2022.
22, latest batch.
Yes, sir. Latest batch.
Fine. Okay, I have a question for you. Why did you choose your VLSI domain?
Sir, because I came from the E&C batch. So I'm during my 7th sem, I learned about the VLSI, and I got crazy about the process, how they think. We can think of anything, but how the processor will think, how the machines will automation will work, how upcoming technology, how it will be implemented. So I got the crazy on that. So I joined the VLSI.
Okay, now what role are you looking for?
Hello.
What's the role you are looking for?
One second, sir. I think my internet connection is slow.
Ayush.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Praveen, hold on.
Okay. Sir, I will turn off my camera, sir, because the network is lagging.
Okay, fine.
Can I?
Yeah. Praveen, what role are you looking for?
I'm looking for DV, sir. Design and verification.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Ayush, we'll start with you.
Yes, sir.
What areas of electronics are you good at?
So in the what in electronics, in digital electronics.
In detail, what electronic subjects are you good at?
So electronic subjects I'm good at is digital electronics and some parts of analog electronic and control systems.
Fine. Ventesh?
Yes.
Enough. Ventesh, you there?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. What subjects are you good at in electronics?
Digital electronics.
Only digital?
Digital analog also, sir.
Fine. Praveen?
Yes, sir. Digital electronics and analog and network analysis.
Fine. We'll start with you, Praveen. Turn on the camera.
Okay.
Okay. What do you mean by a gate? With respect to electronics.
Yes, sir. It's a switching model, sir. We can in simply say it's a switching model where we can apply the inputs, we can expect the output in a form of zeros and ones.
Even if you apply an input for a wire, you'll get an output, right?
No, sir, but it acts like a switch, no, sir.
So?
Because the combination of inputs.
Even wire with a switch can also be a switching model. You can say that.
Yes, sir, but we can implement the logics on the gates, sir. But we can implement the logics by using gates. We cannot.
So what do you overall summarize the gate as?
Gate is a building block of any circuit, sir.
That's okay. I'm just asking you define gate.
Gate is a logical element to build the logic circuits.
You came close to your answer and you left out. Aish?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by a gate?
So the gate means like we provide its input and it gets output as a resultant, and it is like a basic building block in the digital electronics.
Even wire can do that. If you provide something to the wire input, you'll get an output. What's the difference between wire and a gate?
So gate is generally developed by the help of, it has some logical unit like we can expect some output.
Even in wire you can expect. Ventesh, same question for you. What do you mean by a gate, or define a gate?
Building blocks.
That's the next step. I'm asking define gate. You have to define, right? I know it's a building block. Before that, what it is? Anyone?
Sorry, building block of any circuit, but it can have multiple inputs, but only one output is there.
Ayush, second chance for you.
So with the combination of input, we can get different combinations of output.
Even I can do that using a wire. Venkatesh,
Sir.
second chance for you. What do you mean by gate? Define gate.
Building block for digital circuit. It performs the logical functions like that.
You said it previously. The same thing you said it previously. Fine. Venkatesh, what do you mean by a flip-flop?
Flip-flop. Flip-flop is level trigger. No. Just wait. Flip-flop is a sticker, sir. It is cross-couple connection of. Just wait. Flip-flop is cross connection of large gates. It is edge triggered.
Praveen.
Master slave configuration of a latch is called flip-flop, sir, and it is edge sensitive.
Only that much.
Then the flip-flops can be used as a register as a storing element, and we can transfer the data also.
Define flip-flop, that's it.
Flip-flop is a master and slave combination of a latch is called a flip-flop.
Okay, fine, but I'm asking you to something else. I'm expecting a different answer. So be specific to the question, that's it. Ayush.
So flip-flop is a edge trigger device. It can store one bit of information, whether 0 or 1, and it has a
device.
No, it's an element which can store one bit of information, and it has a clock also. So it is different from a register or a. So that's flip-flop, and it is different from a latch, like it is edge triggered as compared to the latch was level triggered.
What do you mean by edge triggered flip-flop?
So like the clock is at the rising edge, the rising edge of the clock, the flop get triggered and change its output and changes its like data is changed at the rising edge of the clock, so it's termed as edge triggered.
Only rising edge.
No, not the rising edge. It can be at the edges, not at the level. It can whether be a rising edge or the falling edge.
How do you call them as rising edge or falling edge?
Yes, sir.
What do you call them as rising edge or falling edge? What do you call them?
The flip-flop I can call as flip-flop.
If you have a rising edge flip-flop, what do you call it as?
So rising edge. So the edge triggered flip-flop I call.
That's edge triggered. I know that. What do you
Positive
call
edge triggered? Positive edge.
Falling edge you call as?
Falling I call negative.
So
define a latch, Praveen.
Latch is a combination of it is also store one bit data, and it is a level sensitive device, level sensitive element.
You are attending through laptop, right, Praveen?
Yes.
Okay. Open the Jamboard and explain me how does the flip-flop store 1-bit element?
So I can open page.
Not write. Don't write on notebook. It can't be visible. You have
Sir, I can show
correct
in
here.
the
3 dots.
3 dots. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Click on that. You have whiteboard, right? Open a jam whiteboard. Click on that and share your screen. Ventesh, till then, define clock.
Clock is a signal, sir. It transmits whether it is high or low.
High or low? Be clear with your answer, Ventesh. What do you mean by a clock?
A clock is a signal. Clock is a signal.
Okay, I agree.
It transmits receiver to transmitter to sender. It transmits a signal from sender to receiver.
Sender to receiver. That's a clock.
I think.
You sure about what your answer is? Aish.
Yes,
what
sir.
do you mean by clock?
The clock is a signal which gets toggled after a certain period of time, which we call a period of clock, and it is generated by generally PLL or crystal oscillator in the SOCs. And with the help of clock, the data transfer happens. Whether the data like transmits from edge figure, rising edge or falling edge, as we discussed. So clock is a crucial signal which helps in.
That's enough. Just define clock. If you have to say in a 2-line or 1-line, what do you mean by clock?
So it is a signal which gets toggled after a periodic, like after a certain period of time.
So until the certain period of time, the clock will be flat.
No, sir. It will be like toggled 0 or 1 based on some period.
What if you have a sine wave? How can you say that 0 or 1 at that time? You will have +1 or -1, or plus for positive amplitude or negative amplitude.
So it has a square waveform. Like for ideal clock, it would be a square waveform having 0 or 1.
That you can have a clock even in a sine wave, rectangle wave, a ramp.
So like clock triggers the transmission.
Just define clock. That's it. I'm not asking you to refer it to anything else. Define clock.
Like clock has a definite period of time. Like it switches its value after a definite interval of period of time.
Praveen, you know the answer for that?
The clock is a signal. It will synchronize the digital elements.
No, fine. You explain, Praveen.
Sir, I forgot the question. Can you please tell me, sir?
Explain how does the sorry, someone is left. I guess someone is left. Someone has left. Who did Ventesh leave? Ventesh, you there? Yeah, Ventesh has left, I guess. Okay, fine. Continue. The question was, how does the flip-flop store 1-bit? Explain using waveforms or anyway, anyhow you can.
Yes, sir.
How does the flip-flop store 1-bit element?
Yes. If I can see, I will take clock. So if you consider a positive flip-flop, then that in the positive edge, in this manner, then the positive edge, it will.
What's the first waveform? What's the first waveform?
It's clock. I will define.
Okay. What's the second one?
Input, sir.
How do your output come?
Yes, whenever first latch, if I take first latch, it's active high. So in the first clock, its value is 0, sir. So its value is 0. It's complemented to 1. Here the latch value is 1. Then the yes, sir, the value is 1. Then in the next cycle, the value is transferred from this latch to this latch. Yes, sir. Positive in the value is stored in 0 here. In this, the value is stored as
No, Praveen, you're not getting. You're going wrong. Aish, can you explain the same?
So how to how flip-flop stores one bit? So you are asking that?
Yeah. How does a flip-flop store an element?
So, sir, as far as I've studied, flip-flop is built by structure it consists of transmission gates. It has a circuit consisting of 2 transmission gates. So based on that enable signal, one got one transmission gate gets opened.
Stop sharing, Praveen.
Yes, sir.
No. Praveen, stop sharing your screen.
So what I'm saying that based on the enable signal on the transmission gates, one got opened and another one got closed. So that way the information gets stuck in the loop, and after the enable is given on the other transmission gate, the another one gets the vice versa operation happens, and in this way it stores one bit of data. But
No.
so with the help of circuit diagram I can explain better, but yes, sir. So with the help of transmission gate only I can explain that.
Just follow this. I'll explain. And I'll ask some questions for you on based upon that. See, your output will be 0. Consider a D flip-flop. D flip-flop is to be named as delay flip-flop. It usually delays the thing, that's it, right? So this for this positive edge, it's a positive edge flip-flop. For this positive edge, what happens? It has triggered the previous. Can you hear now?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a D flip-flop. This is a positive edge.
Now okay.
This is a positive edge. This is a positive edge. Okay, this is an input. For the previous input, it has giving some values. Okay, now for this input, this is an unknown output because we don't know the previous input. For now, this positive edge is considering the input which was previously present. So this is a delay. So it delays by some certain cycle. So here I'm considering a 1 cycle. So here what's there? The input is 1. So it stays 1 till the next positive edge. Here the input is again 1. It stays till the next. Okay, here again it's 1. So it stays till there. If the input was 0 here, the output was 0. Understood? So what happens from this positive clock edge to this positive clock edge? The data is same.
Breaking,
I think it might be an issue at your end, Praveen. Ayush, are you hearing it clear, or are you also getting a?
Sir, it is clear.
I think Pravin's issue from your end. So from this point of positive edge to this point of positive edge, the data is
not
being stored.
even getting anything.
It's your problem, I guess, Praveen. Are you having a stable internet connection or not?
Sir, I think it's from my side also. My side, I will rejoin, sir. Just a minute.
Fine.
I can't hear from you, sir.
Fine. So from this positive edge to this positive edge, the data will be stored because this 1 cycle, the data will be stored. That is when you are for the next positive edge, the data changes. That is what happens in output. The data remains same for the and it will change on the next. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. We'll go with the next question, so until you join. What do you mean by rise time?
So the signal reaches from 0 to 90% of this value, final value.
What do you call that?
So rise time.
What do you mean by fall time?
So vice versa.
So the 0 to 90%, what do you repeat again?
The time taken by a signal to reach from 0 to 90% is termed as rise time.
Okay. What do you mean by slack?
So slack is defined as the difference between required arrival time and data arrival time.
You are going with the setup slack. I'm asking you just define a slack.
The slack is the difference between the latency between the two flops.
What do you mean by skew then?
It is skew, but slack is different. Slack.
Define slack.
Slack is based on static timing analysis. Can I define?
Just define slack. I'm asking you to define a slack.
The slack defines whether the system is like stable or not, like whether the condition of metastability.
What do you mean by propagation delay?
The delay which whenever a signal like crosses from a combinational block, then a delay gets happened. Like the signal
can get a propagation delay even in a sequential block also.
Yeah, like if the signal gets passed through a block, then some delay gets occurred in that signal. So we call it as a propagation delay.
Praveen, what do you mean by a propagation delay?
Whenever we apply the input to the initial change in the output to make a stable output, sir.
Propagation delay. Propagation delay.
propagation after the sampling, the time required for the output to stable, sir. The minimum time required for the output to stable.
You are that's whole time. Propagation delay.
Its propagation delay is circuit delay, sir.
What do you mean by cell delay?
Whenever when we provide the input, when the time required for the last output to get, sir, it's called circuit delay.
What do you mean by cell delay, Ayush?
So cell delay is like I'm not able to recall that topic. So it is a PDI.
Now you study it in digital electronics. The first basic problems.
Sorry, sir, I'm not.
These all are basic questions. What do you mean by gate, flip-flops, difference between flip-flop and latch, propagation delay, setup, slack, skew, rise time, fall time, clock, fan out. Okay, explain mux. Define mux and explain, Aish.
So it is a combinational circuit. Based on the select line, we get output. It has a formula like for 2 to the power n cross n mux. Like to design a mux having 2 select lines, then we have 4 inputs. Like mux, what it does, like it has a multiple input, but it gets at the output we have only one signal, and that signal we get by selecting a proper select line. So it is based on the output is solely based on the select line, and that's all. Yes, sir.
What do you mean by encoder, Praveen?
Encoder is a element that we can the human understandable code to machine understandable code. It has 2 raised to n input and n output. In 2 raised to n inputs and n outputs.
Encoder, Praveen. I'm asking encoder.
Yes, encoder only. It will convert to human understandable.
Write the diagram of encoder.
Yes.
What do you mean by fan out, Ayush?
So the maximum output, the output we get from a particular block, logic block, like the number of outputs we can get, maximum number of outputs we can get.
Maximum number of
output we have we get from.
Okay, I'm asking you fan out of a circuit. Define a fan out of a circuit.
So fan out of the circuit is like the maximum output.
Share the screen, Praveen.
Yes, I'm sharing. So here.
Maximum number of outputs that a circuit can drive is a fan out.
Yes, sir.
Maximum number of outputs means how many outputs can it provide? If you have a 2:1 mux, the fan out of a mux is 1, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Maximum output can drive is 1. If you have a decoder, 3:8 decoder, fan out of the decoder is 8 because it is driving 8 outputs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Praveen. There's an arrow mark there. At the top, you can change the next one. On the top, 1 bar 1 in the center. Yeah, right? You got a clear. Okay, now explain. Encoder.
Here I will take 4:2 encoder, 4 input lines and 2 output lines. Here 2:n, this 2:n. Here the n number of outputs. 4:2.
Hmm.
Yes, if it's A, B, C, D, and Y1. The output is of
Praveen, you are lagging a lot.
is equal to A bar A bar. That's what it's like.
See, you are writing an encoder, right? What do you mind by an encoder? Define an encoder, just in a word, if you have to define.
It will encode the input, sir.
How will it encode the input? What will it do?
It will combine the inputs and provide the output in the combination of that input, sir.
How will it do?
How many?
That's why I gave you the area to explain it on whiteboard. Okay, Praveen, are you for DV or PD? That's okay, that's okay. Are you for PD or DV? DV, okay. Ayush, for you?
DV, sir, DV.
So DV FPGA design.
There is no FPGA design. It's only DV,
Like
PD, or analog layout.
RTL DV.
RTL to then you will if you are going in with the RTL, if you are interested in writing the codes, then you are for a design engineer. If you are into verification, you are for the verification side. RTL design, you will be either categorized as RTL design engineer. If you are into verifying the codes, then you will be categorized as a design verification engineer. Choose now only, because as you go, you'll be confused what to go. Okay, there are only few areas in VLSI: design, RTL design engineer, design verification engineer, layout engineer, PD engineer, and you get some synthesis engineer, STA engineers, some these kind of things.
So there are FPGAs also, like FPGA RTL.
That only, it all comes under RTL itself. There is no particularly for FPGA RTL design engineer. You will create a FPGA block, that's true, but for that you will be writing the codes, or you will be verifying the written codes, right?
Yes.
So if you are writing the codes, you'll be categorized as a design engineer. If you are verifying the codes, you'll be categorized as a design verification engineer.
So it's the RTL, sir.
RTL, fine, okay. So have you learned Verilog or System Verilog?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. We shall go somewhere in the analog also. We'll go something to the CMOS. So I'll ask you both a single question. I have a CMOS circuit through which I'm designing an inverter. Okay. So you both know inverter, right? What's the output it is going to give if you are providing an input, I guess. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In a CMOS circuit, I'm interchanging PMOS and NMOS with each other. Okay. So what would be the output for the input which you are providing?
Sir, same.
You sure same?
Yes, sir.
You sure that it's same? Simple question. I'm using an inverter. That's a CMOS inverter, and in and I'm getting an output properly. Now I wish to change my PMOS and replace NMOS and NMOS with PMOS in the circuit or in the CMOS circuit. What would be the expected output for the same inputs?
So it would be same.
What would be the outputs if I interchange the PMOS and CMOS?
Like for zero, we get 0. At 1, we get 1.
Praveen, take your time and answer.
Yes, sir, it will be same.
Same. Okay, Ayush, you need to
Yes,
guide to write a CMOS structure of inverter. You tell me, I'll write. Okay. No, I'll write.
Do I have to write? Okay.
No, I'll write. You tell me what I should do. Are you able to see my screen?
So no, sir.
Now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me what I need to draw now.
Sir, first of all, on the upper side, we have a PMOS.
PMOS.
Yeah.
This is a PMOS. Will I have a bubble for PMOS or not?
Yes, sir, bubble.
Yes, bubble.
There will be a bubble.
Okay. Then
NMOS structure.
Okay, NMOS.
So it will be connected with ground.
Ground.
And upper one will be VDD.
VDD.
And in the middle we have Vout.
Vout.
And the bubble and that dash will be connected. And it would be like Vin input.
Okay. Now tell me. So this is PMOS. Praveen, for you the question is, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
For you the question is, now you got, yeah, Praveen. Are you able to hear now?
Yes, sir. Now it's
okay. So the question for both of you is, if I replace this PMOS with NMOS like this, and this NMOS with PMOS, what's going to happen? For both of you, the output is not going to be the same. That's the wrong answer. You explain me or give me the right answer.
Sir.
Yes.
Whatever will be the input that.
Sorry.
It will only reflect on the output, sir.
No.
Because in the PMOS, because when we give the input as 0, if you consider case 1, if you take 0 as input, then the NMOS will be in output for 0, sir. So the input value is transmitted to output. When you consider input case as 1, the VDD is directly passed. The NMOS will be on condition. The VDD will be directly passed to Vout.
What do you comment on this, Ayush?
So which one? Original or?
See, this is original. I'm giving 0, I'm getting 1. I'm giving 1, I'm getting 0. If I replace PMOS with NMOS and NMOS with PMOS, what would be my output for 0 and for 1?
Sir, in the original CMOS, like if we provide 0, so what it does is the PMOS gets turned on, replacing with a short circuit, while the NMOS gets off and replaced by off circuit. So what it does is like VDD gets started with Vout. So at Vout we get 1 like VDD. So and so in the change version which you are drawn in the right side. So here also if we provide a 0, so in the input, then for the 0 we have a same PMOS gets on while the NMOS gets off. So what it does, the ground gets short circuited with the Vout. So the Vout would be equals to 0. So for 0, we get.
As per your words, if I give 0 now here,
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll ask you both a simple question. Is PMOS a perfect 0 passing or perfect 1 passing?
Yes, sir.
So
PMOS passes perfect 0 or perfect 1?
Perfect 1 passing.
0, perfect 0.
PMOS. I'm asking P. PMOS.
Passes. PMOS 0, sir.
0. Ayush, you?
PMOS 0, sir.
Ayush.
Yes, sir.
So 1 minute. That's 1.
1. So, according to you, if I am giving an input as 0 and PMOS is passing perfect 1 means what will be the output for the first circuit?
So 1, like if we are giving input 0, then output should be 1.
If according to you, if PMOS passes perfect 1, if I'm giving an input 0, what would be my output? Praveen, same question for you also. If I am giving input as 0, if PMOS passes perfect 0, then what will be my output for the first circuit?
PMOS output will be 135 pass 0, sir.
1. See, if PMOS passes perfect 0, how can it be 1?
No. I think I am saying but whatever I am saying, I will just conclude that if you interchange this 2 with PMOS to NMOS and NMOS to PMOS, by understanding cases, 2 cases, 0 and 1 case, it will directly act like buffer. Because,
sorry, Praveen, I didn't get you. Repeat again. Your voice lagged somewhere.
0 is there. The pull down, it will act like a buffer. It will act like a buffer, sir. Hello.
Yeah. Repeat now.
Hello. It will act like buffer, sir, because the pull down will be interchange with the PMOS, no, sir.
Okay, Ayush.
Yes, sir.
What does the PMOS do according to you, and what does NMOS do? If you are providing 0 as an input, if PMOS is a perfect 1, passes perfect 1, what will be the output for the first circuit and what will be the output for the second circuit, considering PMOS passes perfect 1?
So if PMOS passes perfect 1, it would be first circuit will be buffer and the second will be inverter.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
No. Praveen, are you sure about your answer? Does if PMOS passes perfect 0, what does your circuit 1 act as?
Sir, circuit 1 is act like inverter only, sir, but the second circuit is act like buffer, sir.
Okay. Why? Because PMOS passes perfect 0.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll conclude the answer. Actually, Praveen, you are saying the output as correct. The result is correct, but PMOS passes perfect 1. Ayush, to explain in a simple way, see, if PMOS passes perfect 1, means it allows perfect 1 to flow. So this perfect 1 will be flowed here. It opposes the perfect 0. So if it is 0 here, you are getting 1 here. If you are providing 1 year, it provides 0 because NMOS passes perfect 0. Okay. You both said the answers, one part of the answer correctly and the other part of the answer wrong. That's it. Okay. And if you are changing here, if I consider it in a this way, see, this will be the PMOS and this will be the NMOS, and you will have the output. The output for the MOSFETs will always be a capacitive output. So your output will be like this. Okay. See, this is VDD. So what happens? This follows like this, and this will be the open circuit. Okay. So this charges. So whenever you are giving 0, no input, this charges. Okay. Whenever you are giving an input, this becomes perfect. Okay. So what happens at that time? This charged thing gets discharged. So it becomes, when you are giving 1, it's 0. Got it? This is how it's going to work. CMOS. If I interchange them, here at the first half only it becomes open circuit, and here it becomes like this. So if you are providing 0 as an input, it's not charging, right? There is no charging path. So the output will be 0, as it acts like a buffer, as Praveen said. And in second time, it becomes open circuit like this. And because the capacitor is not charged, even though if you provide 1, the output will be 0. Whatever if you interchange both of them, and whatever you give the input, 1 or 0 will always be 0. Understood? Both of you need to work mostly on basics. We will conclude the mock interview here only. The thing is, you both need